Hey guys, what's up? Happy Tuesday and welcome to the second part of our module. Not the second part, but the second phase of our module because we're still doing the Revolutionary War, but we are focusing on a different text, and I will show you guys that text right now. It is called Colonial Voices, Hear Them Speak, okay? So, we have a lot to get into today. This is actually going to be I'm actually excited about this lesson. I really like this lesson because I think a lot of it is important for you guys, not only from like a school aspect, but also like a life aspect and what you guys experience going forward, okay? So our new focus question is, how did people's experiences affect their perspectives on the American Revolution, okay? So we've seen that there were two sides of this argument, and obviously people on both sides of the argument had different things going on in their life that made them see the revolution differently. Our content framing question for today is, what do we notice and wonder about colonial voices? And that's going to be your guys' classwork for today, okay? You're going to be taking a look at some of the pictures I post of colonial voices and kind of giving me your feedback, what you see, what you're thinking, and all of that. And then our craft question, which is the super important question today, is what is an opinion? And you guys are going to be weighing in with some opinions as part of your homework. And it's going to be about something that you're familiar with, so don't worry, okay? Now, Colonial Voices, Hear Them Speak is a little bit different from a normal story or a normal text that we would read, okay? It is not written from beginning to end like a full story. It is about different perspectives on the war, okay? And you're gonna see as we get into the reading exactly what I mean by that. But for right now, our genre, it is historical fiction, meaning that even though it is a story, it is a fiction text, the historical part means that like the time period and everything that's going on in the story existed or happened, okay? So, here we go. So imagine if I was to write something about the Boston Massacre, right? Because we're all familiar with that. But I wrote it from the perspective of a boy, I don't know, let's call him Timmy, as per usual. And I talk about how Timmy sees all these things during the Boston Massacre, but it's from his perspective. That is historical fiction, because did the Boston Massacre happen? Yes. Am I going to be writing about things that he might have actually seen or did see during the Boston Massacre? Absolutely. But Timmy's backstory about him and his family and where he lived and all that stuff, that is going to be the fiction part of it. So it kind of marries the history and the fiction together, okay? And the whole text I'm going to tell you right now is from the colonist perspective. So before we do take a look at this and you guys are like, oh, this is a biased text, this is all colonists, it's meant to be that way, okay? It is biased, it is slanted strictly to the colonial side, okay? Now, there's some strong vocabulary words that we have to go over today before we start reading Colonial Voices. And the first one, which I put in nice big old letters, is liberty, okay? And you guys might have seen liberty in the previous readings we've done, and there's a famous quote, "Give me liberty or give me death," about the American Revolution. But what the word liberty actually means is, it means that it's being free from oppressive laws imposed by an authority. You guys are probably like, whoa, Mr. Cotty, there's a lot of words in there that I'm not quite sure of. Well, luckily for you, that's why I'm here. Now, being free from oppressive laws. Let's just focus on that part of it. The word oppressive is the word there that really is going to stick out. And oppressive means unfair. There are unfair laws, but also if you oppress someone, you're holding them back. You're holding someone back if you oppress them, okay? Now, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about unfair laws that held people back. Imposed. Imposed. Imposed means enforced. Okay? Now, the rules that we have in our classroom are enforced by yours truly. So that means that I hold you guys accountable and I make sure that the rules and laws are being followed. I enforce them, okay? By an authority. So in our room, I would be the authority, but in this case, the authority was King George III. Because now, liberty, when we talk about the Sons of Liberty, they were on a pursuit of freeing themselves from the British, right? That's how the whole purpose of the American Revolution was. But they were facing these unfair laws that were enforced by King George. That's basically what it means. Now, the second word here is defiance, okay? And I mentioned the Sons of Liberty. And that was a group of colonists that came together to fight against the British before the war really broke out. And what they did was they defied those laws. And when you are defiant, if I would say, oh, you're being defiant, means you're not listening to what I'm saying or listening to any rules of the school. That would be defiant. Now, if you're defiant, if you're showing defiance, you're resisting authority, okay? So, and resist means to go against, okay? Means to go against, and authority is obviously someone in charge. Now, today is going to be focused on life experiences forming perspectives and opinions, because you're going to see the colonist point of view throughout this entire thing, and you're going to see things that have happened to these individual colonists that kind of form how they were thinking. And the best way for me to explain this is by giving you guys two examples from like my life that I see firsthand all the time, okay? So the first one is teaching. Now you guys might be thinking, well, what about teaching? Like, what's that? Teaching is one of those things where, as a teacher, people that aren't teachers don't quite understand us, okay? They don't understand all the work that we put in, all the stuff that we do for you guys, really, and how much we really care about our students. All people really usually see is teachers are off for spring break, they're off for Christmas break, and they get off in the summer, and they have a pretty good job. They get a lot of time off, and they get free summers. But really, my life experience, so people think that teaching is easy, but my life experience tells me it's difficult. There are many things to do. There are a lot of worries. There are a lot of circumstances. And it's about connecting. And it's about connection. Like, there are so many things that and also you're dealing with children. So everything is always a little bit more difficult when you're dealing with children. And for me, like when we go on a trip or if I'm in the classroom, it's me with 26 of you guys. And people don't understand what that's like. And thankfully for us, we're a very good class and I love you guys, so it makes my job a little bit easier. But people that don't teach, if they had to be put in that situation, they would be really scared, okay? Me, I'm not afraid of anything. Put me in front of 50 kids, put me in front of 100 people. I don't care. I'm used to being in front of you guys all the time. It doesn't affect me at all. Now the second thing is technology. And this has kind of become a thing with remote learning that I've seen, is that people can be afraid of technology. You guys all love technology. You guys are like, give me Nintendo Switch, give me an iPad, give me this Xbox, give me this computer, whatever. Okay? And you guys know for me, I'm not always the most like tech guy. Like, oh, like let's use the smartboard for everything, or let's use computers for everybody. I'm more of like an old school kind of guy. But that's just my personality. I'm not afraid of technology. I just need someone to show me how to use it, which is why you guys come in handy so often. But there are people who are afraid of technology. Okay? So some people are afraid of it. And someone like my grandma would be like, oh, that's useless. We didn't have that back in my day. So some people think we don't need it. And that says unless when it should say useless. Okay? Some people think it's too fancy. And some people think it's unnecessary. Which we all know that technology is not unnecessary, because if we didn't have technology right now, what on earth would we be even doing with ourselves? I don't even want to go there, but it wouldn't be good for me, and it wouldn't be good for you guys. And I'm so glad we have technology to be able to communicate with each other, for me to put these lessons out for you, and so on and so forth. Now, I do want to get into this, but I just wanted to clarify. This is how my life experience with technology, or people's life experience with technology, affects their opinion of it. This is how my life experiences make me think about teaching. And like, my opinion about teaching is going to be different from somebody else's, but because I've lived it, I can argue my side of the argument and voice my opinion very clearly and be very set in stone about that, and no one's changing my opinion, which is an important thing about opinions, because if you have an opinion about something, stick to it. Don't flip-flop. Say, hey, I think it's this for this reason, and that reason. Okay? Now, Colonial Voices, hear them speak. On the front we see some old-timey writing of Colonial Voices, and we see a setting, the ship in the background, a boy carrying a bunch of papers, and that's pretty much that. And on the back we have the summary, which I am going to read for you guys now, and that says, it's December 16th of 1773, and tempers are high in Boston. So that explains the snow, because it's December. King George had levied a new tax on tea, and the colonists are up in arms about taxation without representation, which we've talked about. At dawn, Ethan, an errand boy, heads out to deliver newspapers containing a notice from the Sons of Liberty, that group of guys that wanted to go against the British, about a secret meeting that night at Old South Church. When he stops along his route at the bakery, the schoolhouse, the tavern, and more, readers learn about the occupations of colonial workers and their differing opinions about living under British rule. So you're going to see the perspectives of different people based on this boy Ethan's paper route, basically. Okay? Told from the perspective of ordinary citizens engaged in everyday work, Colonial Voices, hear them speak, conveys diversity and defiance at the eve of the Revolutionary War. So basically, this text is points of view from different types of colonists. So colonists had different types of jobs, whether they were bookkeepers or shoemakers or teachers or bakers, or they owned a tavern, which is basically a restaurant. People had different opinions, people had different thoughts on attacking the British or following the British laws. So you guys are going to see all those perspectives as we go through this, okay? But for today, you guys are going to be doing a noticing and wondering of the front page, the back page, the summary, and then I'm going to take a couple of shots of the inside and post these for you as well. And it'll probably just be this page right here, because this is a little map of, as you can see, Boston. Now, Boston was like the center of the colonial uprising against the British. The other colonies just kind of happened to get involved with the British and supported, not the British, with the people in Boston and in Massachusetts, and supported the colonial cause, okay? So you guys are going to be doing a noticing and wondering chart for your classwork today based off of what I post from this book. And then you're going to be answering an opinion question, giving me your opinion. Give me a strong opinion and give me reasons why you have that opinion, okay? So, happy Tuesday, and talk to you guys tomorrow.